Buyers and sellers still just can't seem to get their timing together, resulting in the slowest May in 24 years, not including the lockdown year in 2020. Transactions were down 22% year over year, while the month of May typically represents the highest month for sales during the year. Activity actually dipped 1% from the month of April, as more buyers moved to the sidelines. Hey there, I'm Matt Sloan, and I'm a realtor here in the Greater Toronto area. And if you could do me a huge favor, if you could hit that subscribe button, it would mean a lot. And if you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as I'm really trying to grow my new YouTube channel. So, what's really happening in the Greater Toronto real estate market? Why does it seem like the market is busy, but at the same time, the numbers say otherwise? Let's dive into a couple graphs and charts to really give you a clear picture on what has happened to begin the first half of this year in 2024 and what we may expect in the upcoming months. Now, you can see here, I'm going to pull up a couple charts as mentioned, and they're going to really dive into the demand indicators, the supply indicators, and the price indicators to really give a clear picture of what's been happening. So let's start off with this first graph. It's the demand indicators for the total MLS sales for 2024 in the month of May. And as you can see here, we've dipped quite a bit below the 10-year average, which the 10-year average is just over 9,200 sales typically in the month of May. And this past month of May, we've actually only had just over 7,000. So about a 24% decrease in total sales for month of May. And if you look at this next graph, we got the new listings versus the sales. So we can really see there is more inventory on the market now, as we're up 21% year over year for new listings and down 22% in total sales year over year. So we can really see that the inventory is growing on the market, resulting in or trending towards a more balanced market, and some areas may feel like more of a buyer's market compared to a seller's market. Next, going into that inventory, we got this supply indicator, which again, we can see the 10-year average for active listings in the month of May is just over 16,000 active listings. We're up at almost 22,000 listings for the month of May. So 21,760 active listings for the month of May. And this has kind of continued through the month of June a little bit too, as we don't have those numbers just yet, as it's not completely finished, but we have seen the trend continue as we have gone through June, as we saw in the month of May. This leads us to the months of supply or months of inventory. This number is a great number to show us which direction the market is going. And as we can see on this graph here, we are really trending upwards of months of inventory at just over 3 months of inventory. This was down even below two months earlier on this year, when we were seeing multiple offers again, where we were seeing things go much over asking, especially in that $800,000 to $1.4 million range. We were seeing a lot of multiple offers and over asking again. But as we can see now, we are trending upwards again towards a more balanced market, and in some areas, like I said, into a buyer's market in some areas of the city. Next, if we break it down into housing type, we can see more condos have hit the market. Now we have over 4 months of inventory of condos again on the market. The detached space, we got almost 3 months of inventory on the market in the detached space at 2.9 months of inventory. And then looking at semi-row towns, we're at 2.4 months of inventory. Now, if you remember a few months ago, it wasn't too long ago, when we were talking about those detached homes in semi-row towns, they were down at just over 1 month of inventory to 1.5 months of inventory. Again, like in a heavy seller's market, and we were seeing those multiple offers in those certain price points and housing types. And now we are going towards a more of a balanced market again in those areas. Again, micro markets throughout the city will still have, the multiple offers here and there, depending on the price point, depending on the housing type within that certain area. So if you want to know more about a specific area, please feel free to reach out and we can dive into that. Now we've looked at the demand, we've looked at the supply, so now let's dive into the price indicators and what's happening with the price with all this going on. As we can see, the price is kind of flattened out right now, and I have mentioned that lately, that I don't think we're going to see too much of dips one way or the other. We're just going to see things maybe slow down a little bit and take your time as buyers are really just on the sidelines looking at things and not really having the urgency to put pen to paper. And as we can see here, the average price is at 1.165 million for the selling price of the month of May. So we can look here that it's just kind of slowly been trending upwards. Again, not reacting too much upwards or downwards as we move through the year in the market. Breaking it down further, again, we got the detached home type, which is down 3% year over year, the semi-row town down 4% year over year, and the condo market down 2.4% year over year. As we remember last year at this time, we really did not have much inventory on the market. This time last year, in end of April into May, start to June, we really had no inventory on the market, and multiple offers were happening throughout the city, and which reflected in the average price going up until we saw that increase last summer, early June and in July again. So that really helped slow things down. But right now, not too much change one way or the other, just a small little dip year over year. Now, if we break it into months of inventory for the areas across the GTA, again, just looking, for instance, the Halton region, if we look at the detached home type, it's really jumped up. I remember this not too long ago, a couple months ago when we were looking at this, it was down under 2 months of inventory. And the semi-row townhome, for example, in Halton region was down closer to one month of inventory. So we can see how things have really picked up there. Again, nothing too crazy to point out except for condos, let's say in the Toronto Central area, we're up at just over 5 months of inventory. So if you're looking for a condo there, it's definitely a good time to buy in the Toronto Central area for a condo. If we look at, let's say, Peel region, we're sitting in a balanced market in the condo in the condo and detached space, and then in the semi-row town, still in a buyer's market, seller's market, you would say, but again, we're just trending towards a balanced market right now. So you may see some properties sell off quickly and some properties sit a little bit longer. All depends on the price and the product that is being put and marketed on the MLS. So I hope this gives a clear picture of what's been happening throughout the market this past month and what we might see to come. So what I think we're going to see for the next month or two is buyers continue to stay on the sidelines, especially in these summer months here, navigating what's really happening with the rates and with prices and with inventory as sellers decide to either keep their homes on the market or take them off. So that's really going to help decide which way things are going as we go through the summer months and into the fall. So if you have any questions about your area though, or an area that you're interested in, or the area that you might be selling in, feel free to reach out and we can dive into that market a little bit more. Because again, some markets are seeing a lot of activity and some are slower than others. So feel free to reach out anytime and we can dive into that. Hope you liked this video and that you're able to learn a little bit more about the Toronto real estate market, Greater Toronto real estate market, and we will see you in the next one.